you want to be probably feeling pretty secure about the NBA futures market if you're betting it right now because, well, you're going to be tying up your money for about 365 days. Because it was Game 7, maybe a few days less, but still, you're going to be tying up your money for quite a while. But right now, the OKC Thunder, after they win the title, and they do so in convincing fashion, knocking off the Pacers by 12 points. They are plus 220 to plus 240 favorites to be able to win the title, and you've got from there the Knicks and the Rockets as short shots over at DraftKings at plus 750. There are some books that have the Cleveland Cavaliers a little bit ahead of the Knicks in terms of your top team out east, and I feel like that's very correct. I do not want any part of the New York Knicks at less than 10-1, so there's that aspect of things. The Timberwolves at 14-1 are intriguing. The Lakers at 16-1. You've got a lot of brutality out west, but I was talking about this. Right now, this team, in terms of the DraftKings odds board, they're the number 10 shot, and how they're the number 10 shot with the best player on the planet, in my opinion, Nikola Jokic, that just feels like value right there. And I know that for the Nuggets, some of the supporting cast that they had when they won the title a few seasons ago is not there, but you still have Jamal Murray there, you still have Aaron Gordon there, you still have a lot of the key components. Recognize that you don't have the coach in Mark Malone, but I do think that they're going to be set up for a lot of success. When you've got Nikola Jokic to be a nice deodorant to whatever stink you might have, that's a really good deodorant right there. He has been just absolutely amazing for just so many different years. Very durable player. I just feel like with the Denver Nuggets having Nikola Jokic on the roster, being able to get them right around 18-1 as right around the number 10 shot like I saw on DraftKings. They're the same odds right now as the Celtics. And I recognize that for the Celtics, they are in the Eastern Conference where it's much easier to be able to excel rather than in the Western Conference where it's all sorts of brutal, but they probably won't have Jason Tatum for the entirety of the season. If he comes back, it's going to be very, very late on during the season. Not having Jason Tatum versus having a fully healthy Nikola Jokic, yeah, that's a big deal right there. And also the Dallas Mavericks, that needs to be brought up at 45-1. They should be drafting Cooper Flagg on Wednesday. If not, they have just completely fumbled the bag there. But Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, maybe they don't have the world's greatest bench or something like that. And obviously the Luka Doncic trade, that was mind-numbing to say the least. But when you can have those three guys on the floor at the same time, there's something there. What that is, something is going to be, I don't know, but I think that Cooper Flagg is going to translate out very well to the NBA level. We saw him even when he was with the Team USA practices, he was still able to excel in those as well. This guy is going to come in right away, in my opinion, and he is going to tear things up. So that's a little bit of value that I'm finding right there, and I do think that we've got ourselves a very interesting futures board. And if you're looking at the Pacers, in a lot of places that have redone this, because right now there are some places that haven't adjusted from when they were at 18-1. I'm right now seeing that at DraftKings, 18-1 is just not fair value. Even at 45-1, that's not fair value. You're going to have Tyrese Halliburton out for the entirety of the season, but I do think that the Eastern Conference landscape might be decided by where Giannis Antetokounmpo goes if he decides to stay in that conference. So lots of fun intrigue there, and lots of fun intrigue with regards to everything on the ball diamond. How about if we get you guys some great bets for this Monday, and they're all powered by our good friends over at GBank. GBank is introducing the new $500 trifecta. They've got everything teamed up with us here at VSiN, themselves, and First Bet. All you need to do is open up a GBank Visa signature card in the first 90 days, deposit, and play through $1,000 over at First Bet to trigger this $500 trifecta. You'll receive $200 in cashback rewards on your GBank Visa signature card. First Bet will match your $100 deposit, and VSiN, they complete the trifecta with a free VSiN Pro subscription all the way through October 31st. That is a $200 value, and that's a $500 trifecta from GBank, First Bet, and VSiN. Head on over to vsin.com/GBank. That is VSIN.com/GBank, and this is a one-time promotion that is limited to customers opening up a new account in response to this offer. This will not apply to requests to convert existing accounts. Apply today. Terms and conditions, they do apply. How about if we go out to my home state of Wisconsin and take a look at the Brewers playing host to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the Pirates, it's looking like it's going to be Braxton Ashcraft who's going to be essentially the opener for what is going to be a bullpen game for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Chad Patrick's on the bump for the Brewers. And right now with the Brewers, high 180s or so favorites. I'm seeing as high as a 190 as well. That total is 8.5, and I like this total under. With the Brewers, this bunch has had some of the most demonstrative home and road splits I've ever seen. They're averaging about 5.6 runs per game away from home, just completely lit ablaze the Minnesota Twins, averaging north of 11 runs per game in that series. And then you got a Pittsburgh Pirates team that, well, they have walked the plank to dead last in the big leagues in terms of runs per game. Yay, verily, that they were able to have a nice performance here on Sunday, but overall, it's a unit that has been averaging about 3.2 to 3.3 runs per contest. You've got 3 guys on the roster, and keep in mind, it is going to be June 23rd when this game is played. 3 guys on the roster with north of 4 home runs this year. And those guys aren't even hitting for a lot of average, sans Andrew McCutchen, as O'Neill Cruz, along with also Brian Reynolds, both hitting below 225. Then you've got Spencer Horwitz, who's been a little bit up and down, Alex Canario, Henry Davis, Jared Trollo. Just have a lot of guys in general that are not moving the line for the Pirates. Pirates bullpen has actually been decent. You've got David Bednar, who's been looking a little bit better. You've gotten Dennis Santana to be able to give you a sub-3 ERA. Caleb Ferguson, another former Dodger, he's been able to give you some good production as well. So I do take a look at this circumstance, and I do think that's very much set up for an under. Chad Patrick, overall a 3.5 ERA, a little bit smaller as a starter because he had one relief appearance against the Yankees to begin the season. That was less than tremendous, but keeping the ball in the yard, giving up less than a home run per 9 innings. He's done a nice job in terms of being able to limit walks as well. So getting this total at an 8.5. I like the under for the Brewers here. Find them right around about plus 105 on that run line. Any sort of a plus number would be willing to look there. How about if we look at Yankees versus Reds as Nick Lodolo goes for the Reds and Austin Winans is on the bump for the Yankees. And I'm excited about Austin Winans being able to, or Alan Winans being able to get his return to the big league level. As for Alan Winans, when he was with the Atlanta Braves, he saw pretty much 2 stints of appearances, 8 total games over the last 2 seasons. Didn't really take advantage of them. 7.20 ERA, but for Mr. Winans, he has torn it up at the minor league level. 1 home run allowed in 50 innings pitched, 0.90 ERA. He has been absolutely tremendous out there in the Independence League. And then on the flip side for Nick Lodolo, just not getting the same strikeouts that he has in the past, only giving about 7 or so strikeouts per 9 innings. He's right now supplying the team with a 3.71 ERA, so he's been solid. But for the Reds, even though this team is ranked 10th in the big leagues in terms of runs per game, I'm just not really feeling confident in terms of this lineup, as Ellie De La Cruz, who's been able to give you 16 home runs, his stolen bases have been rock solid, 350 on base, but nobody else on this roster north of 9 home runs as far this season. You've been able to get some relatively good production in terms of getting on base out of Gavin Lux along TJ Friedel, and for the Yankees, 4 runs or fewer scored in 8 out of their last 9 games. That's a little bit concerning, but Aaron Judge, he still has 27 plus home runs this season, still giving you north of 460 on base. Trent Grisham has 15 bombs. Paul Goldschmidt has been a little bit rough for this team, but I do think that he's going to find it a little bit more as well. So I do like Winans and the Yankees on the money line up to a minus 128. And with regards to this total, set mine at a 9.2, 9.5, rich for my blood. I'm going to be on the under. And then Red Sox versus Angels. Right now that total is 9. Walker Buehler, 5.95 ERA, giving up 1.8 home runs per 9 innings. Jack Kachanowicz, he has been posting up north of a 5 ERA. He's giving up north of a home run and a half per 9 innings, all while being backed up by an Angels bullpen that's currently 27th in the big leagues in terms of bullpen ERA. Give me that over, and give me the Red Sox on the money line. I'd be willing to lay up to a minus 144 there, and we're seeing that more in the neighborhood, about a minus 120.